Douglas McCarron again. Um, Kind of a follow up on my one about the apocalypse, end of the world. I just know in my life, like there was a song called "Let the Sun Shine In" the movie Hair, and the stage, and there's a line in one of the songs about a dying nation. And I remember people really having this whole idea that the United States was dying. It would be dead within 10 or 15 years, and its democracy would be gone. Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young did Wooden Ships. And also the Jefferson Airplane about "We are leaving. You don't want us. We're leaving." But, it's really more kind of like a lot of kids thinking the world should be one way and it's not. And we don't like you, so you're going to leave. Don't know where you're going. But they didn't like the war in Vietnam, but Europeans or Asians were all fighting too. So it's kind of weird. I think a lot of us just get really caught up in this. Those people need to be removed, and then life will be better. A lot of rulers seem to, like in the human history, seem to want to keep people crushed instead of like helping them all. Or maybe they try to appear that way. I don't know. But I just remember growing up, there was all this rock music about American culture was dead and dying, and we'd all be gone in 20 years. And then, country musicians were singing about how hippies were trying to kill the country and we're all going to get destroyed. And George Wallace talking about, segregation now, we got to preserve the nation the way it is. Even though, oddly enough, he was the one who integrated Alabama the most. It's like he had to sit there and tell all the racists in Alabama, we're going to keep this white thing. And in the meantime, he's like third of his cabinet, the people who work for him are black, and he's instituting all this stuff all throughout Alabama. So it's like he was telling his followers one thing and becoming the personification of racism across America, while actually doing a lot to help the black people. Great way to phrase it. And then he got shot for being a racist because somebody thought, well, we got to get rid of him so the New World Order can come in. Yeah. George Bush invading Iraq, and we're going to set up the New World Order over and over. Trump is trying to set up the New World Order. People just seem to be fascinated with the world's not right and I'm going to fix it. And the idea of let's just kind of trade stuff and eat dinner together doesn't seem to be a big thing, at least in world politics. Every once in a while, somebody gets a stick up their butt and has to stir things up. Always have a plan. It's going to be quick. It's going to be easy. I'm sure Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine, it'll be done in a week and we'll go home. Seems to kind of not worked out right. U.S. went into Iraq. We're going to set up a new culture there. We're going to teach them democracy and we'll be out of there in a few years. Same thing with Afghanistan. We're going to drag them into the 21st century, kind of ignoring the 20th century at that time. Of course, they already lived in the 20th century. They just had a different culture and a different regional setup. They didn't have America's wealth and connections. That's why the people, we're going to drag them into the 20th century out of the 17th century. Well, it's the 20th century there too. It's kind of presumptuous to assume their culture is the paradigm of all things good. So we want to impose the paradigm of all things good. And of course, they're like, well, we kind of like our Islamic thing. God's on our side. Allah likes it. That's the paradigm of all things good. And besides, the people who are in charge there don't really want to let go of it. But like Putin, we were going to go in there for a little bit of time, then, we would have changed everything and everything would be cool. U.S. hung around there a couple decades and it's back to the way it was. So this whole idea that judging how something else is it needs to be removed and make it like me, I think is actually the big fallacy in human beings. Again, it's back to the Garden of Eden. The reason we got tossed out of the garden is we thought we had the knowledge of good and evil, the knowledge of the gods, to know how things should be judged. And now we sit out here and do that. And what happens is we sit here and, I'm not saying everything's bad. Food's kind of nice. Making out with people is kind of nice. Walking through the neighborhood's kind of nice. Watching fireworks go off, I kind of enjoy that. Art, music, all this lovely stuff. But, in Sudan, there's this whole town that got slaughtered because who knows why. It's just insane to me. But, there it is. Either my country's falling apart and it's sad and terrible and I have to leave, or woe is me, or those people over there are screwing things up and I have to get rid of them, and then we'll have our country be great again. It's weird, in the United States, make America great again. The largest economy, we're all overweight, we have vast majority of us are fed, and those who are short of food, well, we help them, and people go to make it great again, and that greatness is cut off all that food aid, and let's start deporting people because we don't like the way they look, because, gotta save our country. Like there was anything particularly wrong with it. Yeah, seems very weird. Again, worshiping my God instead of God. Yeah. When everybody quits worshiping themselves and actually becomes aware of what's around them and has compassion for it, then that's when the world will change. But a lot of people don't seem to have that. Okay, well, anyway, just thought some more of it. Okay, as usual, if you want to support me, do so at dsmccarron.com. Got merch there if you're interested. And if you want to, this is another, this is my your AMSR history, I believe it's called. Guy reads books, got this very deep, sonorous voice. It's really cool to listen to. I don't know how many thousands of pages he's read on YouTube, but he's got some pretty cool merch too. And if you know somebody who needs help, or a single mom who's got kids and needs some help, go help them. Guys too, help everybody. Trying to be right, that's not going to do you any good. Just keep your heart centered on yourself. You have to open up and be available to the life around you, and then it speaks back, and you become fulfilled by life. All right, thank you. Till next time.